good evening, everyone. Am I audible perfectly? Can someone talk?
Yes, Suraj, I guess there is some background noise.
Yeah, no, I think it would be great. So, once you can proceed with the COC. Yeah.
Yeah, hello everyone. Good evening. Am I audible and visible properly? Hello? Okay, thank you. Code of conduct, do's and don'ts. Be nice, respectful, and constructive while interactive on the baby virtual or YouTube live, chat, or social media. Do not post anything if any adult content, rude or offensive statements. Do not advertise or promote anything. Do not spam means posting same thing again and again. Harassment of any kind is not tolerated in this event, and if you fail to follow this code of conduct, you will be blocked from interacting on the chat. The last one, report to GDSC at the rate lp.co.in if you find anything inappropriate. Yes, Suraj. So,
Okay, thank you for this. And I will hand over the mic to Rupinder for the today's session on Kaggle.
Am I audible? Clearly audible?
Yes, yes.
yes,
And I'm
Okay.
stopping my presentation so that you can share the screen and showcase the approach of Kaggle and all.
No. Okay, so good evening, everybody. I am Rupinder Pal Singh, a BTech student in LPU, having specialization in machine learning. Currently, I am the team lead of AI/ML in Google Developer Student Clubs (LPU), and I would like to thank Mr. Suez Mani, our current GDSC lead, for providing me such a wonderful opportunity. Today we'll be exploring Kaggle that acts as a platform for community of data scientists and machine learning practitioners. And we'll be setting up your PC for machine learning. So, what is Kaggle? Kaggle allows users to collaborate with other users. Okay, so let me just share my screen so that I can show you what Kaggle looks like exactly. Is my screen visible?
yes, Rupinder.
Okay. So today we'll be exploring Kaggle as a website, and after that we'll be setting your PC for machine learning tasks, and then we'll be having another session for, I can say, tomorrow or day after tomorrow, for giving you further details about what to do next after exploring the Kaggle. So what Kaggle is, Kaggle allows users to collaborate with other users, find and publish data sets. You can use integrated GPU notebooks and compete with other data scientists to solve certain data science challenges. I hope everybody has heard about competitive programming. Have you heard about competitive programming or not? I think every one of you are from first, second, or third year. So probably you have heard about competitive programming, right? Yes, so I can see few responses. Okay, so you are already familiar with the different platforms like HackerRank, HackerEarth, and CodeChef, right? These all are used for online competitive programming events and competitions. So in a similar way, HackerRank plays a role for software developers and computer engineers. Just like that, Kaggle competitions has a significance important for data scientists. So in our data science competitions like Kaggle's, companies and organizations have a big amount of challenging data data science tasks, and rewards, in which data scientists from beginner to experience compete on their completion. So, uh, Kaggle is suitable for different groups of people. Like it is suitable from students interested in data science and artificial intelligence to the most experienced data science in the world. So even if you are a beginner, you can take advantage of courses provided by Kaggle. By joining this platform, you will be able to progress in a community of people of various levels of expertise. And also, you will have the chance to communicate with many highly experienced data scientists. And as you earn Kaggle points and medals that we'll be exploring soon, which also are a proof of your progress, definitely. It is quite possible that you may end up attracting recruiters and unlock new job opportunities for yourself. When applying for jobs in data science, you can also mention your Kaggle experience in your profile, which will definitely make a positive impact on your profile and on the recruiter also. Now we'll be exploring Kaggle website and what it has to offer. First, we have the homepage here. So here you will see the latest feed. This feed is about the works that are going on and those which are completed also. Like here, this user, uh, I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. This username Lex. So it is contributing about cyberbullying classification. Like this, here we have an Andre. It is doing some work on Crossian inspire group in data. So this is what feed is all about. You can see different data scientists work. You can even see beginners work also. Like you can upload your notebook here. You can start a discussion here so that other people can see your work and comment on your work. Like it can upvote your work, so you can gain some experience about how in the world of data science things are going on. Now, as I talked about the competitions earlier, like the Hacker Rank and Hacker Earth and CodeChef, we have a competitions tab in Kaggle. And I also said that companies are offering huge rewards and genuine rewards for certain data science tasks. Like here, we can see Google is hosting a competition, and it is giving 1.5 lakhs of dollars here. Again, we can see American Express, like it is saying default prediction. Let's see what it has to offer. So I'm just giving you the overview of Kaggle as a website, and you will be exploring it again on your own. So if we can see here, uh, wait a minute, are you guys following on the are you guys on the same page like I am? Are you guys following it? Okay, so I can see a few responses. Like okay, so let's proceed. Like here I have a competition that is hosted by American Express named as default prediction. So what it is demanding, it is offering this much amount of dollars, and what it wants the data scientist to do is it wants to predict if a customer will default in the future or not. So like we when we have competitions like this, we have the description, evaluation, like what on what basis evaluated, what is the criteria of your code, how good your code should be, and all that. Timeline, how to enter this competition, what is the entry deadline, what is the team deadline, and what is the final submission deadline, and all that. So we have description, what you have to do, evaluation, on what basis you will be evaluated, on what basis your code will be evaluated. Then we have the timeline, when you have to do what thing, and then at the last we have prices. So here it is saying at the first place it is offering $40,000, second is 30,000, third, and so on. So these are some of the competitions which are going on Kaggle right now. You can see some of them are paid. Like if you open these portal ID combat human trafficking 2022. So it is said that it is for knowledge. So here we can see that these knowledge competitions are for the beginners who are just beginning in data science world and want to test their knowledge in by using a real world data set. So you can head on to kaggle.com/competitions and you can pick any of those. You can read the description, read the timelines, how to apply it, and you can compete here. Next, we have the data. So, like I've said, you have to compete in a competition for a machine learning or data science task. But we already know that data science tasks require huge amount of data, and also machine learning tasks requires huge amount of data. So data set. So in competitions, the data set is provided by the company. Like here we can see the data set is provided by the company itself. We have the test, train labels, and sample submission, like how you can submit your data, what is the sample for the submission, how you have to format your final submission so that it can be evaluated on these evaluation terms. So again, back to data sets, you can search any data set, you can have access to each and every data set which are hosted here. Like if I just want to search the Titanic data set, so I hope you all have heard about the Titanic data set, right? It is the very first classification data set that data science or machine learning engineer will learn. Have you heard about it? Have you heard about the Titanic data set, in which we have to predict on certain basis, like on the price of the ticket, on the cabin number, on the age, and on the gender, whether a person survived in Titanic or not. So I got few responses, and Shabnam Malik is saying no. So others is saying heard but haven't worked on it. Okay, no problem. You can head on to Kaggle. You can go search for Titanic dataset. You can get the dataset here. And what the best part about is, if you search for a dataset, you get this code tab in which different people who have already worked on this dataset have uploaded their work, uploaded their notebooks, which okay, so I will be showing you how to create a notebook and all that, how to install Python from the very beginning, so don't worry about that. So you can look upon the notes, like here it is perfectly commented, but like here it said that another way to visualize the data and all that stuff. So you can look upon to other people's work. Let's search some another, like I've searched already here happy face images. Okay. So here I have certain data set that Kaggle is suggesting me to use it. Like if I go to this facial emotion recognition, here I have this beautiful looking notebook that is telling me okay what to do exactly and where the data is provided. So here we have the data, and here we have the notebook for this data. What other people have done. Similarly, after the data sets, we have the code tab, in which again you will be, these data sets and code tabs are pretty much interlinked. So after searching for a data set, you can go to a code, or after looking for a code, you can ask for a data set. It is available there. Now, next we have the discussions tab. So you can go ahead to discussions tab and start a discussion, and expect from the other data scientists in the world, that may be an expert data scientist or just a beginner, to solve you or help you about a certain problem. Now, these are all the tabs that Kaggle offers us. At the end, we have courses, and this is the I would say this is the most important tab, that is that is our session is pretty much all about. So here in the courses, we have certain self-paced courses, and you will be doing these courses and will be getting a completion certificate from the Kaggle itself. Like if I open just into the programming, here it is showing me we have 5 lessons. One, arithmetic functions, data types, conditionals, and conditional statements, and into the list. So these are all Python based lessons. Like if I open any of the lesson, you can see actual self is, as I have said, it's a self-paced course. So you will be having these beautiful comments with you to understand what's going on in this notebook. Like here it is saying we have to print this. To print this, 1 and 1 plus 2, we have to use this function. It is already commented here how it is doing certain symbols and all. So by tomorrow, we'll be doing some of these courses. I'll be covering some of the topics where I'll be hands-on with the code. And today will be setting up our machine for Python. So I hope everybody is on the same page. We have just learned about the Kaggle, so you can check it out. I'll be so that you can explore the website, and then be moving with the setup process. Everybody, please go and check out the Kaggle website. Look for the different competitions. Look for the different codes and data sets that you know about, and then we'll be setting up your machine. So I hope everyone has gone through the website. So we'll be moving with the setup part. Let me just take my screen to here. So everybody, please type Python in their browser and press enter. We'll be moving to this python.org. This is the Python website that is maintained by the Python community. Are you guys following? Okay, okay. So head on to downloads. As see, I already have 3 parallel versions of Python running in my PC. So I'll be not installing the same version again. Instead, what I'm going to do is I Python 3.7, and you can install any of them. Like Python is updated up to 3.10.4. You can install any of them. It will be the same. But as I have already said that I have 3 versions, so I'll be not installing it. Now I go to this downloads. You can see the full list of downloads. You can go for a specific version here, like it is saying Python 3.9.13. We have all the version available. So I'll be installing Python 3.7. Let me just head on to it. Okay, so I think I should install. Okay, I am installing Python 3.7.9, and you can download again. You can download any of them. When you click on it, you will see the last this x86 web installer or executable. You can download any of them, but I'll be installing this x84 because my system is 84 bit. And as you can see, Python is pretty lightweight. It's only 25.69 MB. So as everyone downloaded Python, please write in the chat box so that I can update myself if everyone is following or not. Okay, okay, downloading. Okay, no problem. Take your time. Download. Okay, so let me just run it. Please Python 3.72 path so that you can access it from your terminal. You can click on it and click on install now. It will install all the dependencies alongside. Okay, so just one note. At the end, you will not see this, but you will have what I can say administrative right where it is saying disable path length limit. So you should click on it and disable the path length because what happen is the path that path to file if it is larger than 256 characters, so Python is not recognizing it. So just to uh, okay, so we should not have that error. You should disable the path length limit, and then you can click on close. So if I open my terminal here and I write pi space minus 0, I can see all the versions installed in my system. So I have these four versions of Python that are running in my system, and by this star you it means that this is the default version. So whenever I type Python, by default I get this 3.10.1. To exit it, I should have write exit. Okay. So now, when we set up our PC for machine learning or data science tasks, we are generally advised to do all the tasks or a particular project in a virtual environment so that we cannot mess up with the default Python version that is installed in our system. To do that, we need to install some packages such as env so that we can create a virtual environment and we can securely work on our project. So let me just open this terminal in a folder. Just give me a second. Here I create. Here I created a folder called as ML session. So I right click and open in terminal. Okay, so you don't have to open in terminal just for installing the packages. You can install it from anywhere, pretty much anywhere from your PC. Now to access the Python package manager, that is pip, you need okay, so you don't need to write this pi minus 0 or pi minus 3.7 again and again. If you this is only okay, Sanjeev Durge is saying we can also create and installing required libraries. Yes, you can do it, but it's a developer preference, and I also think that doing it from Jupyter notebook is best. Anaconda does provide us the Jupyter Lab, but I don't like the interface because that's all white screen. I just prefer to work it like this beautiful colorways. Okay, so anyways, let's move on. So you don't have to write this Python 3.7 or something. If you have only a single version of Python installed. Okay, so can you please repeat why we should run on a virtual environment? Okay, Malik, I'm just repeating. So, what virtual environment is, it isolates your current project from the master copy of your Python that is installed on system. So, when you install some packages in your virtual environment, it doesn't mess up with the original master copy installation of your Python. Like, we'll be saying it. Okay, we'll be saying it like if you install some packages in your virtual environment, it will not be available in your main Python environment. So that when you delete your virtual environment, it doesn't affect your main environment because you have installed something. Okay, let's just say you have installed something in your master Python and you have not created a virtual environment, but for a project you need something different, that is different version of package from your master package. So what you can do, you can uninstall the package and install it again, and that will be a pretty much be a headache. So to avoid that thing, we for a safer side we usually use the virtual environment. Okay, so let's move on. Okay, you should write Python -m, that is for module. So okay, so for by -m we say I want to run a module with the help of Python. First of all, check everybody. Please check if you are writing Python in your terminal. Are you getting this kind of interface or not? Are you getting this thing? Please check after writing Python in your terminal if you are getting this thing or not. Okay, okay, that's great. So let's move on. As I have many versions, so I should write Python. Which version to use? Shortcut for Python, and then -3.7 for the version which I have to use. And again the same for module. And pip. Pip is the package manager for Python. So we use pip, and then we have the arguments that we want to install something. For Kaggle, we just need the Jupyter Lab or the Jupyter Notebook. So I'll be installing it. I just have to write this pi -3.7 -m pip install Jupyter Lab. Pressing enter, it says it is collecting some dependencies and it will install your Python. It will install the Jupyter Notebook for you. So I am writing here in the chat what you have to do. Python -m. Everybody, please follow this code so that you can have your Jupyter notebooks installed on the system. Okay, so sir, I had installed the Python 3.10. So I write pi -3. No, Malik. Okay, you can write pi -3.10, but if you have only a single instance of or a single installation of Python running a system, like you only have Python 3. Just write Python, or you can also use pi -3.10. It will work surely. So as I am installing it, meanwhile everybody install please install your Python and just follow these commands. So as you can see, there are a lot of dependencies that it needs to install just to run the Jupyter. And here we can see it also installed something called as notebook. This is what we need to run our machine learning task and data science task. Sir, how the command? Okay, once more. You can write. You, okay, you can write like this also, or I have written here Python minus m pip install Jupyter Lab, and you can also write like this way only. So it's downloaded everything. Now it's installing. Okay, so these are just the warning. You can ignore that. As we already know, we all are developers, and we just generally we ignore warnings. We doesn't bother until or unless it's a big error. So let's just ignore these warnings. How many of have this already installed in your system? Like mine is taking a long time because I have uh, a pretty poor internet connection. I'm staying in hostels right now. So okay, some of them installed already and some are installed. Okay, no problem. Take your time installing. Okay, so it said successfully installed these much number of libraries and packages. Let's just clear the screen by using CLS command. Now, now what you can do is you can close this terminal, and I hope you have Visual Studio code installed in your systems. If you don't have Visual Studio code, you can download it from Microsoft website. It's free and it's very good IDE. IDE, I'd say. Let's just create one new notebook here by using the installing. I got the warning, which is not on the path after downloading. Okay, no problem. As long as it is warning, you can just ignore them until or unless we encounter a big error. Okay, so I am creating a new notebook here by pressing Control N and Control S. So I am saving it. Okay, so sorry, so I've just taught you about the virtual environment, right? So let's just create a virtual environment first. So I have opened this folder in the terminal. But for virtual environment, what I have to do is same. I have to write this minus n uh, pip install virtual env. So now it is downloading the package that is necessary for installing and creating the virtual environment. So let me write in the chat also. You can use this pip direct pip install virtually NV. Okay, so it is installed. It has installed the virtual environment. So how to create a virtual environment? Okay, so again, every command in Python which you can access is just begin with the python or pip. So I should use py minus 3 minus n benv. That is the package name that we have just installed. Although it is virtual environment, but we use it like this benv, and then we pass the name of the virtual environment that we just want to create. So let's say I create the ml. What's the date? May, I think, right? ml May. Press enter. As you and you can see here, we have a folder saying with the same name ml May. So this marks that our virtual environment is created. Now let's just activate it. How to activate it? You can write ml same name May slash scripts slash activate. So if you are seeing this icon, or if you are not having terminal like me, you will see something written here in the brackets, like the name of the folder which you have created the virtual environment for. Now, after activating the virtual environment, if I just write Python, see what I have got. By default, in this virtual environment, I have Python 3.9.7, but in my if I do it as other user, if I write Python, what I get is 3.10.1. So this marks that the virtual environment that we have created is for the Python 3.7.9 and not for the Python 3.10. Okay, so let's move ahead. Okay, so I have to install the Jupyter notebook for this environment also. Like I've said, if I go to Python 3.7, pip install Jupyter Lab. What it said is, it said requirement already satisfied. That it says, hey, there is already the Jupyter notebook present in your system. But this is also Python 3.7.9, and here it is saying Jupyter notebook is not recognized. So this is what I'm talking about. In the master copy of a Python, you have installed Jupyter notebook, but it is still not visible in your virtual environment. So you can have a copy of this in your virtual environment also. So you just need to write pip install Jupyter Lab. Are you guys following, right? You guys are following. Okay, so it's just installing these libraries again because we have not installed it for the virtual environment. We have installed it for the master copy of our Python 3.7. Okay, so after installing, when you write this Jupyter notebook, you will be having interface like this. You will be having an interface like this, but it is asking a password for me, of course, because I have already set the password. But for you, it will just show you the folders name and the different Python notebooks available. So what I do is I'll just quit this. Like I've said, I don't prefer this white screen. So what I prefer is I just open this thing in my VS Code. Like let's just create new Python file. Say ml may dot ipynd. So this is the extension that you need to use when you are creating your Python Jupyter notebook files. So here we get the interface like this. For you, it will show you the Python version that you have installed. Like if I want to use this Python 3.7, let's just run it. Print hello world. That's okay. So shortcuts are you have to press shift plus enter to run a cell. You can select your kernel here. If you are accessing it from terminal, like I've already shown you, but I just show you one anyway. Uh, you just open in terminal again. Okay, so I'm doing it again. If somebody missed in the first try, you can see it here. How to activate our virtual environment? Name of the environment slash scripts slash activate. Press enter, and you will have your virtual environment activated. Then, what you can write is Jupyter dash notebook. Press enter, and you will be having a interface like this. Okay, so that's pretty much it about the session of today. Okay, so we'll be having a session again where we'll finally code. I know I'm saying it again and again, but trust me this time. We are going to finally explore some of these. I'll be coding it out and you will be following along. Today, it's just the day for the Python environment setup for your machine learning processes. Okay, so you can explore all the courses till then, till our next session. And also, if you have completed, like I would suggest you go to this Python course and have a quick tutorial about what Python is, how Python works exactly, so that when our next session will conduct it, you already have some beginner knowledge about what is Python and how Python is working. And if you are wondering about how I got my terminal like this, so I'm using Clink version. Like I can show you if I open my PowerShell also, I have this thing. So if you want to set up your terminal like this, I can share a few links where you can follow along and make your terminal look like this. There is very good things to this. Like uh, generally in the terminal you cannot see like this icons. These icons here like favorite links, music icons. So we can do that session also. I can share the link and the tutorials that you have to follow to set up this terminal or PowerShell. Okay, so that's all about today's session. And now Suraj will be telling you something what to do next in this Kaggle. Uh, on to you, Suraj.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Rupinder, for impactful session on installation of Python and all, and covering the Kaggle concept, how it works, right? I will suppose here I'm not audible. Now, can you hear me now? Okay, there might be some issue with earphone, I guess. So, all you need to do is hop over to this website kaggle.com/learn, right? And uh, you have to perform these tasks over there. All the self-paced courses are there, right? So all you need to do is just go around, learn those basic concepts, right? And then you can earn this certificate, something like this. That is Kaggle certificate, and that is of totally free, right? So this thing you can do, and we are covering the basics only, right? All you need to do by yourself, but we will be covering the highlights, like some crucial points or some basic points, like that, some important points we will be covering those only, but you have to perform all those by your own, right? It's totally self-based course, so that you can take it, and uh, you can earn those for free, right? So this is something for this one. And coming to next, I think we have covered this one. If today is the last day of the campaign, though, even though if you have not filled this form, you can fill in as well. And this will be expiring by tonight, like 11:59. That is the limit for that uh, form. By means you will be getting separate certificate for that Explore ML with Crowdsource program, right? So that is from that team. Yeah. So these things are over, and keep contributing it on the crowdsource with this link if you have not, right? And happy crowdsourcing. Any questions? We are open for that, and then we can wrap up the session for the day. And we will be meeting tomorrow for next session on this only. Like we will be covering some points, something over there. Yeah. Any questions? Anything you want to ask? We are open for that for few minutes, as we are on time today, right? Okay. Mhm. It seems no questions is coming up, right? Mm, QR code. No, this is for the certificate, and the link is also something like. Let me paste in. If you have attended that two sessions for that. ELCC. I hope it works. Yeah, this is a survey link, and yeah, if you have filled it, no need to fill. This is for some newcomers if someone is hopping around, right? And as usual, if you have missed something, session is recorded as well as live on YouTube, right? You can watch it from there, or it will be updated on this portal as well. And right, like today's link was something s.gdsclpu.tech/ki, right? That is Kaggle intro. So you can just refresh, and then you will get to know what that. Let me update that in a moment. Yeah. Mm, all those who are actively like participating in the event, right? There are some surprises for you. And when I'm saying it, it is right. And if you don't believe, like previously we have conducted offline session, and you can relate to that as well, right? So just stay connected, keep learning, right? While this campaign is over, because see, today is the last day of the campaign, but we are extending those two day on, so that we can cover all the basic concepts, right? So that's how we are operating right now. Like tomorrow will be one more session on this one, and after that, the thing we have not covered, we will be covering that part, like something JS we have left out, Angular, Firebase we can cover around, because main deadline for web project is 10th June, right? So we have to work around that. That's how I'm planning, and that's how it will be executed on time, right? Let's see how it goes. And that's it for the day, I guess, right? Yeah. And I'm wrapping the session in 2 minutes. If you have any queries, anything, just drop in the chat, or you can, yeah, ask. Yeah, let me check with some